Welcome back to Mainely Mystics. I'm so excited for today's guest because this is going to be a conversation full of wisdom, fire, and some serious attitude. Rob Lee, the Reverend Rob Lee, the powerhouse behind Tarot with an Attitude, is here with us. He's a man who has lived many lives, growing up as a preacher's son, serving as a police officer, working as a psychologist, and now bringing all that experience to the tarot table. Oh, and you know him for that unforgettable catchphrase, Bangarang.
Bangarang.
We're going to dive into what that means and how Rob uses his unique journey to guide the collective. Rob, welcome.
Why, hi, Miss Jill. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. How you doing?
If I was any better, I'd be twins. And that's a scary freaking thought, you know?
That's awesome. So, Rob, your presence is bold, magnetic, and full of life. Before we get into your incredible story, let's start with that catchphrase. When people hear you say Bangarang, it lights something up in them. So tell us, what does Bangarang mean to you, and how did it become your signature?
You know what? I was watching the movie Hook for about the 50th time with Robin Williams, Dustin Hoffman, things like that. And the story, real quick, was about how Peter Pan grew up and he lost his magic.
Mm-hmm.
And after seeing it a whole bunch of times, I'm sitting there one time and they're finally at the table and he starts to get his magic back. And once he started playing along, they were in a food fight and he flipped a thing of food at somebody. And when somebody threw a barb out, cutting each other down, when they got it back, the whole little tribe, all the Lost Boys, yelled, Bangarang, Bangarang. And I'm like, Spirit spoke to me. And Spirit, if you will open your mind, Spirit can speak to you anywhere. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, Bangarang, what we put out is what we get back.
Amen.
And that just kind of became my catchphrase. Thus, Tarot with an Attitude, the barefoot Bangarang tribe, you know? So it's a constant reminder when I yell Bangarang and when people say it, I want you to remember what comes out of here, not just here, but what comes out of here is important. Words are powerful. And what we put out will always come back to us.
Amen. Amen. So when you say Bangarang in a reading, what do you want your audience to feel?
I want them to feel excited and to remember one of the things I want people to do is to be able to reclaim the magic they had when they were children and they lost it. Mm-hmm. Because magic is real.
Yes.
I don't care what you call it. There are things that happen on this planet and magic is real. Yes. You want to blow it off? You lost your magic. That's okay. We need people that don't believe in magic so we can stand out, you know? Well, I don't mind being the crazy, you know? Right? It's one of those things. But what I want them to feel is that, okay, what you put out, I give them a reading. And remember, it's not just a reading. My readings, as you know, go a little different. They go a little sideways to get into the shadow. And what we need to do to repurchase. So when I yell Bangarang, I want people to understand, okay, this is something, not just take it and you're not in church. Don't just take it, put it in your pocket and go home and put it on the TV for the next week. Okay. Like everybody does with their Bible. Yeah. You got to act on it. You got to use the information the Spirit gives us. And that's when I yell Bangarang. It just drives that excitement of remembering we're in control. You're in control.
Yes. I love it. I love it. I be yelling Bangarang when I watch you, Rob. I love it.
I know. You type it and everything else. I love it.
So Bangarang feels like a rally cry for empowerment. So let's talk about the journey that brought you here. You've lived a life of service, but in very different roles. You started out a preacher's son, to a police officer, a psychologist, and now a tarot reader.
Yeah. You know, I've always felt like, and one of the reasons I left police work, I saw what was turning around. Now, this was in the late 90s is when I left police work. I was very young, okay? Wasn't even old enough to truly go buy ammo. I had to get a special letter from the department, the state, and everything else. But I was married with a kid and had to figure out something to do.
Yeah.
I liked helping people. I've always liked helping people. It makes me feel good when we can help people. All right. So I went from the church life where I had a lot of musical background, things like that. And my dad ran, before he became an actual preacher, he'd run the junior church. I'd help in the choir and do different things like that. I would direct when choir leaders were going on vacation, things like that. They would bring me in to direct. Always helping, and I loved it. I'm a very emotional person. I'm an Aquarius, okay? So I'm in my head a lot, and songs, I cry at songs, I cry at poems, I cry at movies. It's one of those things just because I feel, if you will take time and feel the power of what's coming at you. So I got into police work, didn't like what was happening, saw what was going on, saw the shift. Because at one point I felt like as a police officer, I could actually help people. All right.
Yes.
Then it became, you got to follow the rules or you're going to get sued. Okay. Well, I'm a firm believer. Not everybody needs to go to jail. Not everybody needs a ticket. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
And sometimes we learn more. And is it not better to build a respect that, hey, cops will they're human too. They're funny. They like us. They're going to work with us. But there was a line. And I left that, okay? Actually went to work for the next period in my life for 8 to 10 years as a call center and started there as an agent, okay? It was one of those things where within a year, I became a manager there, okay? And was teaching people customer service about being nice, whatnot. The other thing I was doing was teaching people to listen. In police work, they called me Father Rob all the time. Everybody wanted to talk to me. Everybody wanted to tell me what was going on. I always had advice that I could tap into, and I never knew where it was really coming from. All right. Left there and was like, how do I go really help people? And I didn't leave there. They sent me to the Philippines. I helped open call centers there.
Wow.
Came home, did such a good job. They said, you did so good. We sold the company. You're out of a job. Okay.
Oh, no.
And I go from that kind of money to working behind a counter at 7-Eleven because I had no degree, no education. And now in that 90s, when we started getting into, everybody wanted the paper. Your experience didn't mean anything. Do you have the paper? Do you have the certifications? And my oldest boy came to me and said, Dad, you can't do what you used to do. Your experience alone is not going to do it. So he taught me into going back to school. So at 50, okay, as a single dad with a GED, I went back to school and I stayed straight through the next 7 years and got my master's in social work. Okay. And my first job out of there was working with addictions and clients and things like that. And I enjoyed it, things like that. Now that clientele can be one of the places where I learned I have to be careful about bringing stuff home. Okay.
Yeah.
But helping people find a different way. And that's where tarot really started to come into play, because I'm looking at some of and they're heroin addicts. They're all from alcoholic to heroin, anything you want. Okay.
Yeah.
And one of the things I realized is the majority of people fail rehab 3 or 4 times before they get it right. And one of the things I noticed with drug addicts, particularly the right conservative people, well, we already put them through that. Now let's throw them away. Let's put them in jail. Well, wait a minute. I'm not a small guy. Every time I fell off the Atkins diet, they didn't steal my book back. They didn't say you couldn't go on that diet again. Oh, keep trying. There's no different. Right. One of the things I realized, they kept being told the same things over and over and over and over again. I brought in to my groups, which grew huge and were very popular, I brought in oracle cards.
Nice.
Okay. Nobody knew what they were. They thought, oh, Rob bought another Brainiac deck for us to do, and started working oracle cards. And next thing I know, we were finding different ways in. The first deck I brought in was the Tao oracle card. Okay. And it was hitting them off guard. And they were able to talk about something that actually hit home to them. What does value mean? What does contentment mean to you? And a lot of them have never been asked these questions. True. And I would literally shuffle the cards, put the deck in front of them, let them pick their own card. So I was doing it just like we would do at a reading.
Yeah.
All right? In that time, I was like, you know what? The world's going crazy. And things had already gone crazy at one point with elections and whatnot. I'm like, we're so focused on that. I need to build a place for people to feel safe. Come ask questions, do whatever. Did any of this go over really well with my church people? No. Okay. But so be it. Okay. I also took world religions, things like that while I was in school. So it opened my eyes up to a lot of spirituality. And so trying to make a long story short, okay, that's where I started moving to spirituality. That's my story. In short, I left there, did not go get my license. In Florida, you could be a spiritual or Christian counselor without having to get a license. I didn't use my Reverend title. And then I'm sitting there going, wait a minute. A lot of these preachers I know went to an unaccredited college. They're calling themselves doctor. They only went for 3 to 4 years. Okay. I've got 7 years and then 2 more years of internships on top of it. All right.
Right.
In trauma centers and in hospice centers with children. Okay. You know what? I can use my Reverend title. And so I started using my Reverend title then. I got ordained through the Universal Life Church and I started using it and been doing this ever since. And this way I can, whether I've got certain initials from the state by my name or not, it's all going to be the same thing. I just can't use certain titles they want you to use, so, all right, I won't.
I know that. Yeah. But I think the title fits, sir.
Thank you.
That is an incredible evolution, Rob. Can you walk us through how all those chapters shaped like who you are today? And it all comes together when you told the story in order. But the Rob today, the Rob, you made a difference for others, but I also see there was a transformation in you.
Oh, huge.
Yeah.
Huge transformation. Went from being very scared. God was to be feared. Do this or die. Go to hell.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that is one of the things. So I didn't know. My journey went from this complete and total fear of God, like people that are raised in the church are, okay, to believing there was no God. All right. To going, yes, there is a God, but it's not that God. Okay. There are large portions of the Bible I still believe. I pulled part of my faith near and dear. Okay. But I took a deeper look and went, this isn't what God told people to do, and like he was without sin, cast the first stone. But then if I don't just bow right or say the right thing, I'm going to be tortured in hell forever. A little something about that kind of started ringing. There's a whole story around that, but that my journey has come to that. One of the things I found out in going through some of this, and my wife pointed out, what I went through that early first through 40s, possibly even into my 50s, through my parents, through other things that happened, I was really dealing with a lot of internal anger. And I had to put that beast away. Now, let me tell you something. It's still there. All right. We never get rid of that. And I can trigger on my anger just like somebody can trigger with a drink or with a burrito or with whatever it is. My wife and I have things. She has been my earth angel. She came to me and has helped me transition. Just God knew I needed somebody like her.
Yes.
That I would hear. Okay. Gillian's my rock. And I keep telling her, I wouldn't be alive without you. I don't think I would have. Okay.
Right.
But literally, from the way I look at money to the way I look at manifestations, if we go into a store and somebody starts to give me a hard time, my little Gillian, she'll tug on my sleeve and go, I got this. That's her key to me that I can see you're fixing to blow your top.
Yep.
Let it go. Well, like I said, I was raised in the church. I was singing in churches from like 8 years old on.
Yeah.
You're not going to embarrass me in public. Okay. And so she would work with them. And it's actually funny when they don't do right by her, she'll then look at me and then look at them and go, look, we're not making any ground here. And I'm fixing to turn that over to him now. And that's not going to be pretty for anybody.
Right.
Okay. So it's there because we have these things in our shadow that were put there for a reason, or we use them for our protection or whatnot. So I keep it, but I learned to control it and not live in it. Does that make sense?
Oh, that makes perfect sense. Perfect.
And that's when I started to find and open up and listen and hear and see things and know even more and trust myself more.
And that is empowering, isn't it?
Hugely empowering. First time I turned around, if I can encourage anybody listening, the first time I remember my dad being a complete idiot at a soccer game, okay, at me, not even his grandkids, all this drama-based stuff, because he was mad at me. And I went, wait a minute. This isn't my problem. This is his problem. And I looked at him, I said, I love you. I'll be sitting over there, whatever you want to do. But this is your drama you're having fun in for all of these people. And you know what? I'm not going to play your game anymore. Not my circus, not my monkeys. If you want to be the martyr, you go right ahead. But just know I love you. Walked away. And let me tell you something. That was like 1,000 veils opened up. When we can truly get to that point, you go, okay, that's you. Go away. I'm not going to be around it. You want to start and try to pick something? I'll leave. Talk to you later. But I don't have to take hate with me. You know what I mean?
No, that's when you see growth, when you can respond to it, mirror it back, and without that aggression, without that visceral, that somatic response. That's power. That's power.
You said something very powerful, and I've used this in dealing with addictions. I've used this in dealing with marriages. I've used this in dealing with all types of things. You might have even heard me say it on the show. One of the things we have started to do as a country is we don't listen, okay, to understand. We listen to react. And I have challenged certain people. When they've asked me a question, I start and I go, you're not listening. Well, I guess I am. I said, no, I can see your eyes move and you're already formulating an argument to my first 3 sentences and you're not hearing anything past that.
Yeah.
And 2 or 3 times people went, you know what? You're right. Now, if we're going to have a conversation, you need to hear what I say. I need to hear what you say so we can understand where we're coming from. And that's very important to start responding to situations rather than reacting. Take the emotion out of it.
Yes, but it takes practice.
Oh, it don't come easy. It don't come easy.
And then you're doing good, and then it shows itself, and you got to say, "Oh, don't back. I don't know where she came from, or he came from." That's your little shadow. And a friend said something. I might misquote her, but it was powerful. We were talking about shadows, and she said, I take mine, and I like her to stand next to me and hold my hand, because if she walks in front of me, I'll fall behind. And if she's behind me, something else. But it was just powerful. David got it like boom. And I was like, that is an interesting way to look at shadows. You know what I mean? If they're ahead of you, you're going to fall behind. If they're behind you, I don't even know what, you could trip up. Who knows? But if they're next to you, they walk with you. It's a part of us, you know? And yeah, and it's like, it can be trauma. It can be ancestral trauma. It can be all kinds of things. And it's hard to sit here and say, you know, if you piss me off, you will see a demon from hell that you have, like a Tasmanian devil, and people will think, not you, you know. But it's like, you have to be able to admit it and say, listen, I have certain triggers, I have certain lines, please don't cross them, you know. But at this, I'm working on it, and that's the shadow work. When you can sit with yourself, you can go within and say, hey, I see you. And I see what you're doing. You want to protect me. You feel threatened. But guess what? I think we got this. I think we've got this right now. And that's huge. Like, it sounds so, I don't even know, but that's such huge growth and empowerment. And then when you experience this, you want to share it. You want to pass it on, because you see people in the world suffer. The world suffers from this. People are so reactive everywhere you go. Nobody wants to listen to anybody, and they just want to rah, rah, quick. It hasn't been this bad that I've noticed until, I mean, it's getting worse and worse.
And that's one of the things I tell people: turn everything off, because in the end of it, you know, you personally aren't going to change anything on a one-to-one basis. No. And most people, they're arguing because all they want to hear is their opinion come out of your mouth. All right. And it's one of those things where when you can go, all right, I can listen. Now I know where you're coming from. There's no sense of me of arguing with you or changing your mind. And those are times when we need to really, the lesson to be learned is, maybe there are people I don't need in my life as much as I have. You know, you're more than free to go have your ideals, things like that. But when we're together, please don't and if you push with me, used to, I would go on the attack. Okay. I'd take you out at the knees. But now I've learned to go, you know what? All right, I got to go. All right. Got to feed the dog. Didn't know you had a dog. I don't. Got to feed the dog.
You just don't vibe with some people, and it's okay.
Yeah.
That's all it comes down to. You know what I mean? Your shadows irritate their light. Their light irritates your shadows. And it's okay as a grown-up to say, you know what? You didn't do anything to me. I didn't do anything to you, but we don't vibe good. And that's a big lesson to learn, especially for empaths and people pleasers and spiritual community. We want to help, we want to give. But there are people that we have to be able to have those strong boundaries. And that makes us better at what we do.
Yes.
Hence tarot with an attitude. I mean, the attitude is because you love them, because you care, because you love the message you're bringing, you love the work, you love the help. And that's the attitude, is I'm bringing this home. You know, I don't want to just fluff it up and make you happy for a minute. And now I'm talking for you. Excuse me, sir. I'm so sorry. All right. We digress, but it's exciting conversation, and your shadow work is amazing. And I don't think it ever ends. Do you?
No, because like you said, that's
asking for a friend, Rob.
We should we're always, you know, two-sided individuals. Okay. Because again, we never want to get rid of fear. We don't want to live in fear.
Exactly.
But fear serves a purpose.
Yes.
You know, when all of a sudden we're afraid, what we have to do is learn to stop and analyze what we're afraid of, why we're afraid of it, and if we need to dominate the fear or move forward. But there are times where, like, yeah, maybe I ought to move to the other side of the street.
Yes.
You know, we were given that. Remember, fear was given to us by the Creator, by the divine, by God, whatever you want to call. Okay. And why? For protection. Fear. There are two acronyms. Okay.
Yes.
Both I've heard in AA. One, you know, false evidence appearing real. And that sounds so airy-fairy and all that stuff. But there are times it's true.
Yes, it
You know,
is.
I see people not moving forward because they're afraid they'll make a mistake or they won't, they're not going to do something right. Or the biggest thing is their ego. I'm going to get embarrassed. Okay.
Yep, yep,
Who
yep.
cares? Who
Right?
cares? Then there's the other one, which is true about fear. F everything and run. Okay.
Yep.
There are times we need, even spiritually, you know what? There's so much negativity in this room. There is somebody on a mission here. I got to go.
Yep.
Okay.
Peace out, Cub Scout.
Yep. Those
That's what
types
I
of
say.
things. So
Peace out, Cub
all of
Scout.
this was given to us. So we can't just eliminate it, but we need to learn to control it.
Yes.
If that makes any sense.
But we also need to learn to read it too.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes, we have to read it because there are martyrs that walk around, and is it really something to be afraid of? You know, what is this fear? Is it anxiety? Is it this? Is it that?
Right.
You know, it is a gift. I think I read a book back in, what was it, the 90s, The Gift of Fear or something.
Mm-hmm.
And it made sense. It is a gift. It's a survival thing, but then there's some of us, I like to say, face everything and rise. I just go head in and say, we either sink or swim, but I would have felt worse if I hadn't tried it, But absolutely, I'm with you on that. Fear is,
and that's one of the things I tell people. The first thing to do is stop and figure out what you're afraid of. Is any of it within your control?
Yeah, that's huge. The control thing.
And if it's not, well, there's one thing, then I can't give it but so much fear because there's nothing I can do about it. So now I have a choice. I can either fight or flight.
Yeah.
Okay. And those are all pre-programmed responses. And it's okay. Sometimes they love you, gotta go.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Self-preservation.
Yes.
Exactly. All right. Let's get into the early roots. I know you covered it a little. If these questions are redundant, we can redirect. What was it like growing up as a preacher's son? I know you worked in the church and all that, but did spirituality feel restrictive, expansive, or somewhere in between? Like for your
there was no true spirituality. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There was religion. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
With rules, set rules, things like that. And it was extremely restrictive, considering I was the only Baptist kid on my block. All right. When everybody's else at the movies, I can't go. When everybody else is playing softball Sunday afternoons after church, not me, because I had to be back for training union, choir practice, Sunday night prayer meeting, and then Sunday evening service. It was extremely restrictive. Okay. And again, that constant, well, this is here. And people that you were taught were powerful people. I have spoken and been in the room with Jerry Falwell, Jack Hiles, some huge name preachers, like I said. And when I was telling you, there are some people that knew me from all over because of my singing and where I'd done in the church. And all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, it's fearful. And one of the things I would like to tell Baptist preachers or any preacher, if you've got your kid in your audience, in your congregation, do not sit there and talk about how bad of a sinner and the things you were before you found God, because all that kid is hearing, oh, you got to have fun. And then you said, I'm sorry. And now I can't. Anger issues number one. All right. And it's very real. Number two, Jesus is coming back any day. Jesus is coming back any day. I remember sitting in a youth camp, actually praying in my seat, please don't come back till I've had sex. I haven't had sex yet. Okay. But when you think about it, if you told a bunch of 16, 17-year-old boys, the world's ending tomorrow, what's the first thing that's going to go through their head? I never got that experience. Okay. It's scary. Okay. And it is. It's like, oh my God, what, I don't want him to come back. And you don't understand how these young minds, when you look at a lot of preachers, you notice not too many of their kids follow in their footsteps. Some do. Most do not. Okay.
No.
Because they're like, I paid my dues. Okay. And then I actually got to sit there and listen to you and mom fight on Sunday or Wednesday. I had no life. So the first time I have a choice of whether I'm getting up early on Sunday, if it doesn't involve a fishing pole or a hunting rifle, I ain't getting up.
No.
Okay. Just because, and everybody, y'all need to know I'm as Southern as they come. Fourth generation Floridian, my kids are there. So y'all and a lot of Southern things. But no, religion, one of the things I try to teach people, religion is all about rules, structure, doing this. And it's one of the things I worry about with spirituality. You can be a spiritual person, what I found out later, okay, and still be religious. Because spirituality is literally just your personal relationship with spirit. What is it? I don't have to follow your rules. You don't have to follow mine. Nope. I know what I'm at peace with the creator, with the divine feminine. Okay. And therefore, you can be spiritual and not religious. You can be religious and not spiritual, and you can be both. So when you start getting into tarot, into a lot of these things that we do spiritually, and all of a sudden somebody's going, oh, you shouldn't do that. That should be a red flag on that person. Okay.
Yes, and they're limited.
They're trying to indoctrinate you into their religion of spirituality. So
yes,
did I answer your question? I know I went.
You did. It's definitely you go above and beyond. I gotcha. All right, let's see. Oh, here's a good. We're going to shift into your law enforcement.
Okay.
From the pulpit to the police force. That's a huge shift. What led you into law enforcement? You did tell us you were young. You had a family, and what did that teach you about human nature? So the first part's kind of answered, but
people are fallible. People make mistakes. Children need to learn. And the other thing I learned is not everybody's getting the same moral lessons at home that my kids are, whether it has to do with religion or not, just right or wrong. I remember stopping these two kids and I had arrested them both because they're on a construction site stealing lumber. And they had probably $1,000, $2,000 worth of lumber. Did they mean to hurt anybody? No, they were going to build a skateboard ramp. But this one was early on in my career. I brought both parents in, and the parents got in an argument because one parent was like, that wasn't yours or anything. The other parent walked in front of that parent said, was it properly posted? And the other parent jumped out. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It wasn't theirs, and they knew it. And I'm like, okay, we got to remember. Now, here these two kids are in the same truck.
Oh, my goodness.
All right. With two completely diverse upbringings.
Yep.
All right. You slow down. Okay. It's one of those things. And I told the guy, I said, you know what? There are programs to keep them out of jail, things like that or whatnot. But you walk in and you say that to the judge, the judge is going to show you real quick. So,
very true.
Police work, it was. Me and a buddy got suspended for not shooting somebody. Because I knew what was going on. Town drunk, had a machete within 10 feet, and he drew it back. And I heard my partner bring the hammer back on his 357. I had mine pointed right at him. And I'm like, I'm not going to say his name. Don't do it. And when he came forward, I knew he was throwing it in the dirt. And it was on Thanksgiving Day. I'll never will forget it. Okay.
Oh, my goodness.
And that's when I knew police work was shifting and changing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they let me use my vacation days, but I had to burn 3 vacation days to keep getting paid. And their thought process was this: I had the legal right to shoot him. And if he had have thrown it, the workers' comp would have cost more to the department for one of us getting hurt. Okay. And you know what? On a complete, total business wise,
yeah, but
I got it. You're right. I understood it. Okay. Because you got to be able to separate business from personal. That's that emotional. So, yep, I see what they're saying. Okay. But at the same point, okay, that's when I knew we're more worried about the books. We're more worried about what's going on. I had somebody file a complaint with me. I worked a beach town. No parking after 9 o'clock. Big sign. Go down there. Got to be 15 kids having a party. Come on up. Everybody's there. And a lot of the kids knew me. Hey, Mr. Rob. Hey, Mr. Rob. Some of them called me Big Man or whatnot. And it was funny. I'm like, okay, let's all have a sing-along. Repeat after me. I took my nightstick and was pointing at the sign. No parking. And they would all start. Well, there were 3 or 4 of them that were like, I'm not doing this. And the other guys jumped on him and said, one of the nicest cops you'll ever know. He's not going to give you a ticket unless you don't acknowledge what you did wrong. And you know what? I left there with a bunch of kids having more respect, no incident, no anything. Okay.
Yeah.
One of the people in the condos next door reported me for banging on the sign at 2:00 in the morning. So that one they didn't say anything about. They were laughing. Okay.
Yeah.
But there are so many things in police work that I saw ways to help people.
Yeah.
Okay. And that meant a lot to me. The way I got in it, 19, married with a kid, had to find something with benefits, insurance. And like I said, I had a lot of anger issues. So if you wanted to fight, I was your man. I could sing or I could fight. There was nothing else in between. Okay. So I was like, you know what? I'll go here. And that's what I did. And,
nice.
So that's how I got there. If that makes sense.
Yes, it does. It does. You were still serving the collective in a way. You taught those kids, and I'm sure some lessons you taught them stuck with them for a long time, and they probably passed them on. So
hopefully
you see a little seed, the seeds keep connecting throughout your story. Right. Yeah. So here you are now.
Things like that I tell people is remember, all you can do is pass along information, love, how to handle people, and a thought. It's up to them what to do with it.
That's right. Absolutely.
So they can either throw it away, take it, use it, or whatnot. So
that's true. It's, it's what you get what you put into it. If you're going to pay attention and listen and feed, it's seeds of growth.
Yes.
All right. So now here you are, you blend intuition and intellect, channeling messages with this unapologetic energy. How did tarot first show up for you?
Bridget,
who
you've seen, who will be at the show on Sunday.
Eyes of the Dragonfly.
Eyes of the Dragonfly.
Eyes of the Dragonfly.com, right?
I always knew I had certain things and could see things or whatnot. And once Gillian started making me unafraid, okay, I was with Bruce and Bridget when I bought my first tarot deck, the Sun and Moon deck. This deck right here, okay? And we would talk, we would work. I could call her, work with her, talk to Gillian. And one of the things they taught me was to trust myself, what I was hearing. Once you get rid of the clutter, anybody can channel spirit. God wants to talk to you.
Yes.
He wants that personal thing. But you got to shut up and listen, okay? And then trust that what's coming through you're not emotionally attached to. Okay.
Right.
And you can hear the angels, you can hear God, you can hear things speaking. It's what, like I said, look how Bangarang came about, right?
Yeah.
Through a show. If you will open
Mhm.
your mind and open your spirit to a message,
Yes.
spirit will present many messages anytime.
I agree. I agree. I love that too. And the more in tune you get with it, I find the quicker and the clearer the messages are. Like it starts out a lot for people and you forget when you've been on the path for a minute. But like I had a friend going, what is this 11, 11, 1, 1, 1, this 3, 3, 3, the 2, 2, 2. I said, oh, it starts out like that. And you want a meaning. Like when 11, 11 comes, it means this. When 2, 2, 2 comes, it means this. And I think it means something different for everyone. I mean, we can take numerology and we can break it down that way, whatever your process is. But I think it's personal. And for me, it's gotten to the point where it's like your phone. It's like spirits calling you. So that's the ringtone. So what does 222 say? Stop. And I like to ground by taking a nice deep breath in, hold it, breathe out, and maybe repeat it. Shut that monkey mind off for a minute because there's a message coming and it's coming from across the veil.
There you go.
Anything I'm doing right now so darn urgent and important that I can't stop and tune in and pick up that call? And that's what it's come to me. And that's like everybody's experience and thing is different, but that's huge right now. I notice in the community is these numbers, they're everywhere and you see them on license plates. But spirit talks to you through whatever your algorithm is. I totally believe that, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things I remind people, when we see angel numbers, we call these things different things. A lot of times the number itself has no significant spiritual meaning. All numbers have a meaning in numerology. But if you think about it, when you see it, okay. So when you're going into 7-Eleven, okay, your body may be there, but your brain's not. You're thinking about what's coming up at lunch. What are you doing? Where are you going? Everything else. And up pops 222, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 1. Whatever that is, it made you stop and now you're in the moment.
Yeah, that's why I say now I've learned take it a step further and turn on the observer. There's a message, there's something important, or spirit's getting your attention for something in the immediate environment too. Don't write that off because there could be something in the immediate environment beyond spiritual stuff. They want you pay attention.
And that's what I'm talking about. We were trying to show you something.
Yeah.
All right, there might have been something going on in the store, a conversation that you should have heard, a message that came through, but you weren't there to hear it. Okay. So that's what they're trying to tell you. Stop, shut up, listen, be ready. Like you said, okay. It's a reminder, get back here, be in the moment, know what's going on. Okay. And that's where those numbers come into me. I will look at the numbers, add them up and say, well, I don't know where this is playing because I know numerology or whatnot.
Yes.
But yeah, not always does it make any sense to me with what the numbers are. So I'm like, okay, that means I need to be here, be present. Somebody's trying to tell me something.
You get tuned in and tapped in and tuned up. Yep. Yes, it's cool. It's cool. I like when spirit speaks. All right. So did you experience a spiritual awakening moment? Like when the lights came on, like you said, you were restricted in your youth. You had a moment of atheism. Was there a moment where you felt spirit? The awakening, we kind of go through a dark night, or there's all different versions of it.
There actually was, and I think it started with that moment I told you about on the soccer field with my father. Wait a minute,
the moment.
I don't have to carry all these people's crap around with me. Okay. And from there, I started hearing the skies were bluer, the sunrises, the sunsets, the evening stars on those soccer fields were more beautiful. And it started exploring my faith because I started listening. I wasn't programming in, okay, I'm meeting my dad. What's he going to argue about today? I'm meeting my mom. She's going to want me to do this. And think about it. How many times through the day are most people getting ready for an argument that hasn't even occurred? And so you're missing life as you go. Okay.
Yes.
That moment was a big turning point for me to realize, wait a minute, not my circus, not my monkeys. That was one of the first things. And then to realize I got into a church that had a different view of God altogether, that believed God would still heal, that would believe things. And I sunk my faith into it. Okay. And I realized was part of an actual healing service with about 6 people. Okay. Where I threw myself at God and said, you promised. I was kind of like that 13-year-old kid.
Yep.
You promised if I did this. And right now, I have no more faith to give. I can't give you anything other than what I have. I am telling you, I'm claiming every promise you gave me in this book. This woman gets healed today. That was on a Saturday afternoon. Tuesday, the cyst that they originally were worried about disappeared.
That's amazing. That's
Like-minded people getting together. Now,
yeah, powerful.
somebody else took over the church. The whole ideal shifted into that radical Pentecostal thing. But I walked out, but I didn't get mad at anybody. I love that pastor to this day. He's passed away because some of that was seeing, standing in front of his congregation dressed like me, understanding, letting me speak and speak what's on my heart and trusting the vision that I saw and things that were happening. That man actually helped me trust myself and the thoughts and things that were coming.
Nice.
And from there, within a year or less, I met Gillian.
And your spiritual growth continues. Right? It blew up.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. Let's see, like you were on the right path and you were vibing in the right way. And boom. I love it when it works like that. All right. I get so in tune to what you're saying, I lose track of my little notes.
That's all right.
Use my humanness. All right. Your readings feel fearless. Where does that confidence come from?
Take what you want, leave what you don't. Okay? But all I can do is tell you the truth. Amen. And there was a couple of times when some people were around us outside and I felt the presence and I knew something was there and there was messages to give and I wouldn't give it. And my wife's like, you're supposed to tell them this. Now, what I don't like, I'm going to mention a very famous name. Okay. And I did this with somebody and Mr. Bruce, told me, we got to work on your bedside manner, dude, because people are crying that are waiting on us and things like this or whatnot, because I had some very big things with deceased children, ancestors, things like that in seeing, and they wanted you to know it's okay. But one of the things I watched was Long Island Medium. Okay. Yeah. And you know what? You don't have the right to walk up and go, hey, your dead grandfather's talking to me.
No, I agree with you 100%.
You need to, and again, I say this, if you're talking to somebody in a spiritual manner, in a mental health manner, one of the first rules of counseling therapy, don't open somebody up and leave them open. Every session, you got to close it down and make them feel good. Come back. We'll reopen it, reclose it. All right. And that happens a lot. Okay. We went to see her alive and she connected with me, but this other person sitting right over here, Mr. Bruce, and Miss Bridget was there. Bridget's going, that's your mom. And I'm like, I got it. But these people think it's their person. And you know what? It's more important for them. And she was like, she would walk right up to me and look at me. And these people go, oh, and finally I just looked at her and gave her a wink. And she was over in front of them the whole time looking at me. And I'm like, okay, do your thing. But I didn't like when I watched the TV show busting people out in public and putting them in that position. You know, what she does is there's some good things. I just don't like the way she does some of it. And we have to be careful. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And rather than helping in those shows, all right, it became a thing when you go to a live show. If you ever go, you'll see it's more about her flaunting her talent. I was very discouraged. Okay. How could I have known that? How could I have known that? How could I have known that?
Oh,
Well, that's not the point. I thought you wanted to help people, you know,
right.
but with an attitude.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell you what spirits got to me from doing that many years of police work, from doing call center work and teaching people how to communicate, from going from there into everything else I've done. You know what? Sometimes you need to hear, well, that's pretty stupid.
Right.
You know, how's that working out for you? You know, and you've heard me on my show. I tame it down a little bit, but there are sometimes some people need to hear, I've answered that for you 3 times. I'm not doing this reading.
I love when you do that. I'm like, yes, Rob, you, because I'm already yelling. How many times are you going to ask the question? It's like
Right.
family freaking whatever. It's great watching your show.
And a lot of times it's like I can feel my angels going, oh, Jesus, God, come get me. Let somebody else have this watch.
You got your angel smoking a cigarette. Oh, here we go.
Oh, here you go. We'll relax with a drink later, you know.
No, but it's good. That's, I mean,
so
it's powerful.
When you become comfortable with yourself,
yes,
and I know I'm not coming from a place of trying to hurt.
No.
I'm coming from a place of trying to wake up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what were you thinking?
Exactly.
Well, wait a minute. What do you mean? It shocks them out. You know, nobody like me is supposed to challenge that you're being stupid. Okay. So I got away from saying stupid to what's the thought process behind that? Because it makes no sense. Okay. And they're like, because a lot of these people, as you know, they're shopping for an answer.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I learned in dealing with hospice, in dealing with addictions on a every day, 5 days a week, sometimes 6 days a week, in group and private therapy, things like that. They don't, sometimes you need to hear just straight up true. Well, that doesn't make any sense. Explain that to me. Now I'm going to explain this in a way that what I heard you say, and I will tell them something in a way that sounds stupid, and they'll be like, yeah, and I'll tell them, I'm not saying that. You heard me. I'm not trying to hurt you. Remember the name of the show. I'm trying to get you to wake up and think about the thoughts that are coming out of your mouth. Okay. And then you wonder why you're not manifesting, why your negativity is there, things like that, you know. So, and how do I end the show? Take what you want, leave what you don't, but leave having experienced some peace, love, and light. That's my goal. I don't care if you take what I have or not. And when you stop getting emotionally attached to the outcome, that's on them.
Yep.
I don't care if what you do with it when you leave me. Okay.
Right.
It allows you a freedom. It allows you to be able to speak. And what I noticed with a lot, and you've been there, okay? When somebody asks something, you're like, oh Christ, here we go again. All right. You actually lose the true message trying to be politically correct. Yes.
Yeah, egos can't help it in situations like I have to literally stop and say, nope, just let spirit come through. Just read the cards. When it's quick things, and it's not that I'm being false at all, but I have to shut myself down sometimes because my ego will come, and then I might have to, you'll see me grab the cards, start shuffling again to reground. Because my brain said, are you effing kidding me? Are you serious right now?
Right.
You know what I mean? And the ego got louder than my channel was, and I have to regroup and get back into it and do it in the most ethical way possible. I'll read the end. Like a lot of people will want to ask about people who aren't there. And I don't want people reading about me when I'm not there. Do you?
No, and I tell them it's an ethics thing. You can say because of the medical field or whatnot. But if David comes to me and goes, "Is Jill cheating on me?" Whoa, go home, have that conversation with Jill. Okay.
Yes.
Because it's not right for me to do spirit and put spirit in a place that's going to cause a controversy. That's something you need to deal with. And that's what people are looking for when I say they're looking for a cheat code.
Yeah, they want to know.
They don't want to put themselves out there. They don't want to communicate. They don't want to communicate their fears. They don't want to communicate what's going on. And that's when I say tarot's being used in the wrong way. It is funny. I'll get these all the time. Is he my soulmate? Okay. And the first thing I get is all three cards are threes. And I'm like, who's he married to?
You just don't know.
Oh, yeah, no, he's not your soulmate. Or if he is, you need to let him finish his business and stay out of it. Okay. I guarantee you he's not your soulmate at this point. Okay. People don't understand you can have an emotional affair without the sex. You can actually have an emotional affair where you're in love before you even meet the guy because he's giving you everything you need here. And those are some of the things where I'm just like, yeah, no, run. Is he going to call me? I don't know. You got his number? Call him.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be building strong females that are independent. Come out. Hey, we went on a date. You going to call me? Or B, if he calls me, he calls me. Stop it.
I got a question and it pulled me right out of my flow. I'm not naming names or anything, but will he leave his wife to be in a relationship with me full time? That pulled me right. Normally I can read and might remember an imprint of a feeling or a message for some, but it goes, it comes, it goes, it flows. Yeah. I try to stay out of this, but stuff like that, what comes out of my face? Honey.
Yeah.
I think you know the answer to that, but I'll ask the cards what the energy around you is with relationship. Like, this is like, there's a woman code in my brain, in my soul, and that might be me bringing my ego into it. But no. A man is married. You are single. It's not a thing. It's not an option. It's not a thing. Keep on walking. Keep on walking. And you want to bring me into this situation? Oh, no, thank you.
Yeah. No, that's some wicked karma right there.
No, honey.
Yeah,
no, honey. You know what I mean? I'll start getting all wacky and say, what? And what comes out? Knight of Wands.
Yeah.
The love reading player. And then this and that. Oh, no, he's never. No, you're with a player who's in a third party and who is not going to leave that third party. It says it like that. And I'm not even reading him. I'm reading the relationship energy around them. And then it's like, next, move on, quick. You know what I mean? I want no part of this. No part, but I'm not going to, I'm either going to block them or something, and then it doesn't come out nice for us.
One of the things I would tell readers that they need to do is it's okay when somebody starts asking you something and you're uncomfortable, cut the reading.
Yep.
Don't do it. You know what? I don't think I'm the reader for you. There are a lot of people out there that will handle this, okay? But that's not going to work for me. And it's on them, okay? Yep. I'm not carrying that burden around. Some of these because there are sometimes the questions are so bad. Like I said, I always say, let spirit come through and not me.
Yes.
Well, when you're asking me, is he going to leave his wife? Is he going to leave his husband? She's going to leave her husband. All right. The old Rob that's bottled up is like going, what the hell?
Yeah, it comes out strong. It's like, because you have all this, you're not just a, channel and reader. You're a human being with real life experience, with real life values. And you've worked in with people who have problems, and you like, oh my God. And your brain's like, what do I do? And the spirit's like probably sending a thing send them to this place and get exercise. Like
yeah, and sometimes they need to hear
what they're doing, but they're not your patient. They're not your client. It's just like the brain goes.
And I remind them, tarot with an attitude, so you're not going to like this statement, okay?
Yes,
butt out.
yes.
You need to butt out. It's not yours to interfere or even put your energy into that marriage. Now, if we're going to continue down this path, again, I'm sorry, there's a reader right over there, okay?
Yep.
Or there's a reader, you can find another reader at another store, wherever you're doing the reading at, it's okay. And spirit will reward you for holding your boundaries.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes. That one caught me off guard because I was in the, I'm trying to learn the TikTok thing, and that pulled me right out into my ego. I made it like, you know what I mean? And then I said, how could I do this ethically? Instead of, I was in service mode. Do you know what I'm saying? But now that you've said that out loud to me, I thank you, because that will sit and it will come to surface quicker, and I'll be able to say, oh, I'm sorry, not that one. Let's go to a different question.
That's it. Or I'll be like, you know what? I'm not going to tell you about him. I'm not going to tell you what about his wife, but I will tell you what you need to know about being in a relationship with him. And the answer is no. I don't have to flip a card. Spirit is saying that man is obligated. Step away.
For everyone involved. Involved. It's
yep.
Yeah. So being a tarot reader isn't always rainbows and butterflies, is it?
No, it's not.
So how do you balance the clinical knowledge with spiritual intuition?
I love it. I love it. It's one of the things I thoroughly enjoy doing, is showing people how science and spirituality can actually work together. Okay?
Yeah.
I look at it this way. If you want me to quote one of the scriptures in the Bible, in the beginning was the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The same was in the beginning with God. All things were made by him. Without him was not anything made that was made. That's John 1:1-5. There's a little more of it. Okay. But I kind of figure with my spirituality, God's pretty smart. Okay. Yeah. And there are certain things in the creation of man, and the creation of the world, and the creation of everything. Okay. But maybe God created the science. He just said, I want to do this. And now we're trying to make it logical. But what I love for people, I love to help people understand, a lot of times you don't have to take one or the other.
No, that's amazing. Yes.
Yeah. And that is one of the things I love to do, is help people understand you can be spiritual and still be scientific and understand that and go, okay, I kind of get it. And see what happens. There's so many different ways, because bottom line is so many people argue over the earth, how old it is, the creation of it, everything else. All right. If you knew tomorrow, what's going to change today?
Right.
I'm still going to 7-Eleven, getting a Cuban sandwich, toasted, well done. Okay. It's one of those things. And that's what, so we make so many mountains out of molehills. Okay.
Oh my God, yes.
And I'll give you a good example. Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yes.
I watched him one time, and what he said at first made sense. There's no alien activity coming to view Earth. Now, folks, I don't believe that. I'm telling you what Neil deGrasse Tyson said. And his rationale is they're so far advanced, okay? It would be equivalent to us studying an earthworm.
Right.
You know the only problem with that?
What?
We have scientists studying earthworms. Okay. So this is one of the smartest men on the planet that uses an analogy, but at the same point, this is what I'm saying. Like, wait a minute. So just because somebody with a high IQ said it,
no, it doesn't make it so.
Doesn't make it so. Okay. Now, I'm not going to say he's 100% wrong and never listen to him again, because he has departed some wonderful knowledge.
Yeah,
to
he has wisdom. He has wisdom to share.
if you remember the first Godzilla movie, the remake, Matthew Broderick, what's he doing? He's at Chernobyl studying earthworms. Okay. So we want to know about creation. How are these creatures living versus us? Maybe how the creatures we planted, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You know, a farmer will check his crops. I'm saying that's what it is, but I'm just saying. I'll use a Trumpism. Just saying.
I'm just saying.
But let's see what goes on. So that's where I love trying to help people that are stuck in one world or the other. This whole gray area, and that's one of those things that I love doing. So yes, I don't stay in one field all the time.
No, and it can all work together. And yes, they complement each other.
Yep, absolutely.
Let me see where I'm at. Excuse me. I really get into when you're talking. Oh, you've created Tarot with an Attitude, which is such a bold name. I love that name. I'm like, I am so jealous. Why didn't I come up with that? How did you come up with it? And what's the core mission behind your work? I think you've kind of shared your mission throughout, but if you had to sum it up, if you feel.
When I started doing a private coaching practice, okay, we put in there, and it's the saying right on the page it's still there, it's alive, but there's nothing on it that it's called Dynamic Life Perspectives was my first practice name. And we put in one of the things, this ain't your mama's session. Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's just me. This is me. I have to talk plain. I can get educated, do whatever or whatnot. But how many times I've tried it and done it, but when I can get people to laugh, when I get people to cry, when I can get into feelings rather than just hammering in a knowledge bit, a data piece. Okay. So that's why Tarot with an Attitude. I can't do airy fairy.
No.
I just can't. It doesn't fit with me. And there's 90 million other people out there doing it. Okay.
Right.
So one of the things is me being me.
Amen. We love it. We love it.
And anybody that knows me will tell you, there's attitude, so.
And that's why we keep coming back. Bangarang.
Bangarang.
So your life has been centered around serving others in different ways. What does service look like for you now? You've pretty much covered that over and over.
Service to me is helping somebody find peace. Helping somebody. I remember where I was at when I'm trying to understand my life and God through a religion that I did not choose.
Yeah.
Okay. You've heard me say, I don't care what you believe, but know why you believe it. Okay. Because until you know why you believe it, it has no grounding. It has no merit. It has no, it can't, you have nothing to anchor to. How many people do you talk to? I'm not even going to name a religion. I'm this religion. Why? Because I was born that way.
Right.
Well, that's not a blood trait. It's not, that's not running in your blood. Okay. No. You were indoctrinated. Just like I was. And one of the goals I have is to help people break free, find out, because a lot of times when you can break some of these barriers, whether they be from one side to the other, don't be so staunch. Okay. Right. Be willing to listen and remember, everybody's human. Everybody's going to make mistakes. None of us are flawless. All right. And before you go forth, holding court, being vehement in your speech, okay? Is that how you want somebody to treat you when you made a mistake or when you were flat wrong?
Right.
So a lot of that is just understanding of, you know what? I don't have to follow any set thing, but I need to know what I believe.
Yes.
If you don't believe there's a God, that's okay. But be staunch in it. And then don't go, oh, dear God. Oh, well, this is happening. God help me. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay.
Right.
But don't talk about God. All right. And then the only time you talk to him is when you need something or want something.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Okay. He's not a magic fairy. Spirit is not. She's not. The goddess is not.
No.
Okay. And that's so my whole purpose is to help people find peace of mind, find stability, and just be happy.
Amen. That's a wonderful mission. So what do you hope that people walk away if someone books a private session with you? What would make you feel
That they found a path.
Service? Yeah.
That they found a direction. They found an answer. They found a way, a light at the end of the tunnel. Okay. To understand, that, wait a minute, I am in more control over this whole situation, no matter what it is, than I want to admit. Okay. So that's it. If you can walk away going, you know what, I feel better.
Yep.
I'm good. I'm good.
And guidance. You offer guidance.
I tell them what I see, what I hear, but again, it's up to them.
Oh yeah.
They can apply it in your way. Find out however it works for you. So yes.
A very empowering to your sitter. Your readings I find very empowering, thought-provoking, I don't know, you didn't ask my opinion, but it came up.
Well, but thank you. I appreciate it. If I can make somebody think,
yeah,
that's half the battle.
That's huge, yes.
With my kids, I learned a long time ago, just make them think.
Yeah,
okay.
Oh my God, yes.
If you can make them think,
they'll be okay. They'll be okay without you standing over them.
And you know what? I'm not saying I was the greatest dad. I know there are errors, and my kids would be the first one to point out some of my errors. But once I learned, let them think, stop thinking like an adult sometimes and drop down to a 16-year-old, a 14-year-old, and even at that point, a 4-year-old.
Yeah.
How they're seeing the world and what's going on. It helps. And every one of my kids are just wildly successful.
That's awesome.
And I thank God for that, because he's the one in all of my stupidity at those younger ages was the one that said, I'm with you right now. Listen.
Yeah.
My kids knew if I walked through the door doing what they called throwing a nutty, throwing stuff, I'm going to kill everybody.
Yeah.
We're okay. Just let him run. But if I walked through the door and I went, okay, everybody to their rooms for a little bit. Give me time to think. I got to digest this, because they knew I didn't like doing punishment when I was mad once they got a little older. Okay.
Yeah, you're not supposed to.
And that's when they would go, we're so screwed.
Yeah.
We're so screwed.
Dad's speechless and he needs space.
Yeah.
They go in their rooms and they're thinking, shit, how am I going to get out of this the easiest way?
Yeah. So that's one of the things. If I can get somebody to think.
Yes.
You don't have to agree with what I'm telling you or what anybody's telling you.
No.
But at least give it some thought, So
that's a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. Let me just check my little notes here. Hold on. Oh, yeah. Okay. So we're going to have some fun and insightful wrap-up questions. And then I have one more thing after that I'd like to do with you. All right, Rob.
Okay.
Let's end with a little lightning round. Quick answers from the heart. You ready for this? Just the first
yes,
thing
ma'am.
to you. You're going to channel these answers. Ready?
Okay.
These are true to you. If you could pull one tarot card to represent your life journey so far, what would it be and why?
Chariot. Absolutely no thought process, because we have to keep focused on what we want to accomplish and what we want to move forward. Chariot is all about movement. That's 7. Look at what's going on, analyze, but keep moving. And that is very near to me. What we dwell on, what we stop and do is where we get off. I don't care what Miss Jill thinks. I don't care what this person thinks. I go back to Jim Croce in the song. If you're going my way, I'll go there too.
Right,
okay.
Right.
But
Nice.
Not to let somebody or myself pull myself off course from my goal.
Amen. Amen. What's one misconception about tarot you'd love to erase forever?
Oh my God, it's of the devil.
Yeah,
okay.
But it's evil.
It got
it's
a bad
evil.
name with demon and devil worship, Aleister Crowley, and all that stuff, and everything. Back in the 60s and 70s. So people have told everybody, you know what? I told you the other day, or I told somebody, I don't remember. Right? One of my next things I'm going to be doing is tarot with prayer, because a lot of people are like, I love to pray, but I don't know how to pray. You know what? If you're asking God to show you what to do, he'll tell you what he wants you to say, what he wants you to hear, and what he wants you to feel. And I can actually show you the Lord's Prayer in tarot. And I'm going to have that coming out. So y'all need to subscribe, ring the bell when you come over to Tarot and Attitude, because that's going to be coming out in a pre-recorded thing. I pray to God. You hear me? I pray to the Mother, and they're all one and the same. God ain't some old white guy sitting on a throne up there going, okay? There is no gender. He is anger. He is masculine. He is feminine. She is feminine, that divine feminine, that nurturing, caring, it's one of those things. So did that answer your question?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. If life had a soundtrack, what song would play every time you say Bangarang?
Oh, Lord. That's a good one. When I'm saying Bangarang?
Yeah, when you feel, I know Bangarang for you is that. Yeah, what would the song be in the background when Rob's on the camera? You know what I mean? If we made a little movie.
Yeah. And this one could range, okay? When you're talking about a soundtrack of my life, the first thing was Life in the Fast Lane, okay? Because of where I've been, what I've done, things like that. All right.
Nice.
Then it would maybe The Stroke. Okay. Everybody, have you heard? There's a brand new rhythm. Strokes the word. And there's a new rhythm out here. Rhythm is energy.
Yes.
So maybe I would be Billy Squier, The Stroke. Okay. Might not be what somebody in the church would pick, but let's see how that does. Okay.
I love it. All right. So this is optional to you, but I wouldn't feel like I love the conscious conversation, but I cannot hang out with Reverend Rob Lee and we don't pull a tarot card for the collective. Are you down? Are you down, brother?
I got them sitting right here.
Yeah, I got mine.
The old Amex commercial. Never leave home without it. Okay.
Right.
One of those things. So for the collective, we're going to pull a card.
We're going to pull a card for the collective.
I'm going to pull a card for the collective. All right. Spirit, guide me. Let this come. Your words, not mine. All right. Here we go.
Nice.
Wow. Okay.
Bangarang, right?
Bangarang.
You're the guest. You go first, sir.
The reminder. The 6 of Wands. Okay. I'll bring it up here.
Victory. Beautiful.
We are meant to live a victorious life.
Amen.
All right. We've been given everything we need. People will ask me, or they'll say, I know Spirit wants me to have. Well, you know what? Well, our Spirit will give it to me because he wants me to have it. No, sorry, don't buy that. Okay.
No,
Spirit doesn't give a crap.
What Spirit
has done,
the universe doesn't care.
No, It's energy, and it's given us all the resources we have. Now, what Spirit's looking at you and going, now, are you taking action? What resources are you doing so you can change your own life and move through it? I have sent angels, I have sent guides. They will be glad to help you, but they're not going to drag you along to this life if you're not willing to take some action. So the Six of Wands is that remembering. You get so locked up in previous battles. Five of Wands, big fight. Okay, with multiple people. Six of Wands, we've discovered victory.
Yes.
And this card is to remind you, how many times in our life did we think, this is the end? He'll never love me again. She'll never love me again. I don't want to go. I've lost the love of my life. Oh, there you go. You know, it's one of those things. And that is what the Six of Wands is there to remind us. The earth turns, things happen. If we want to live in trauma, okay, trauma's there, trauma's real, and we need to recognize it and
very much
with it. But do we need to live in it?
No.
Okay. If you want to live in trauma, if you want to live in depression, if you want to live in negative energy, then that's on you. Okay. You have a choice. I love this saying. I was up at the hospital that I worked at, was if you don't like where you're at, you're not a tree. Move.
Leave. Yes. Get out. I love it. So I think my card can complement. We have the King of Pentacles. I don't know if
wow, there you go.
Yeah. So I would say that if you take the advice of the Six of Wands, then you will be sitting very stably, very comfortably, and you will rule. You will have dominion over the things in your world rather than letting them have dominion over you. And on the bottom of my deck, what do you have on the bottom of your deck?
Oh, I don't have anything on this one. It just says Six of Wands.
No, I mean the bottom card, the shadow card.
Oh, my shadow card.
Yeah.
Did I already put it back together? No, I don't think I did. My shadow card. All right. Wow. This is going to go with it perfectly. The Ten of Wands.
Beautiful.
Suit,
yeah.
You want to move forward? Some guys, you got to leave that crap behind. You got to put it down for things to get better. You know, we used to say all the time in addictions, what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. And we do that all the time.
Oh, God, yes. Oh, yes. And then I had the World. Divine timing, the end of one cycle to level up to another. So
there you go.
We have brought the message to the collective, and we are part of the collective. So I accept it too. That's my favorite thing is reading tarot. All right, Rob, this has been incredible. I greatly appreciate your time. I greatly appreciate your openness, your sharing. And I thank you so much for all the work you do for the collective, for the Bangarang tribe, for the guidance and the teaching and the getting me to think in my own life just by being you. And it's greatly, greatly appreciated. I thank you for sharing your story, your wisdom, and of course, your Bangarang energy, the energy. I love the energy with us today. And for those listening, if you're not already following Rob, check out Tarot with an Attitude. He's going to send me the link tree. I'm going to post it below in the description. But do you want to let people know where to find you? You have YouTube,
YouTube at Tarot with an Attitude. Okay. I'm on TikTok. I haven't posted that much on TikTok lately because of running into what you were talking about.
Yes.
Or whatnot. Facebook, I'm under Rob Lee. We have a group called Tarot with an Attitude. Then I have the page Tarot with an Attitude. Join the group. We're bringing that community back to life. Things like that. We have a good time. So yes, I will be giving a link tree. It'll be down below. There are books that I've written. My wife has written. We've written together. And the link will be in there where to buy tickets for Sunday, August 3rd.
Yes. Can you talk about August 3rd? I'm going to have this up definitely before then. And because it might be something you'll be doing again down the road, so they might want to follow the off cabin as well as, or just following you. They'll know when you're going to do it. But
correct. Yes, because I'm going to be live doing personal readings at the Off Cabot, which is in Beverly, Massachusetts. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I was there back in February, I think it was. They've invited me back. So I did something right. Okay. We had a good time and everybody got a reading. I'm going to be doing things a little different this time because at the end of that show, I was drained. Okay. But I'm going to be doing what I do. I am going to be channeling spirit. I'm going to be channeling whatever comes through. And a lot of times it is channeling angels or spirit guides, different things like that. But other people do come through from time, but that's not my big thing. Whatever message you need to hear, that's what I'm going to be there to have God ask me to tell you what you need to hear. So August 3rd, be there. Now there are VIP tickets down in the green room afterwards. We're going to have a small group session. Okay. Nice. So you might want to be part of that, see what's going on there. We might have some of our books there, things like that, to do it. And then we will be back again sometime during the week of Halloween is what I was told.
Nice.
So they've already set us up for 2 other trips. So that'll be one of those things. So it'll be fun. We're going to have a good time. And folks, come hang out. Okay. Yes. Just come hang out and let's see what happens because I guarantee you're not falling asleep. Okay.
No. Guaranteed. And doors open at 5, right, Rob? And the show starts at 6. And yes. It's the Off Cabot. There is a bar there for drinks, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So
food, there's some food, things like that there or whatnot. So
it's a great time. We went to the first show. It was great. And the energy's amazing. And it's a cute little atmosphere. It's not overcrowded. It's none of that. It's really nice, guys. So I hope to see some peeps there. Just saying.
Exactly. Love to meet them.
Yes. So I guess we're going to wrap it up. Great oh my goodness. Great sharing with you. Conscious conversation, if I can speak. Mercury's in Gatorade again. And I'll blame them. Shh. But I'd like to end with the prayer. Would you like to lead us in prayer, Reverend Rob Lee? Is that comfortable for you? I would greatly appreciate it.
Our most gracious and loving Heavenly Father, that divine mother, that divine feminine, all one and the same. First and foremost, we say thank you. Thank you for the resources that you've given us. Thank you for the ability to be able to do what we've done. Thank you for moving Jill into my life. We have to give gratitude and in all things come through you. I ask now that anybody watching this video be in your protection. I ask Michael to come and watch over Jill, watch over myself, cover us in holy light, that nothing can be taken away from this that does not serve the higher good. I said everybody remain safe, and again, give you glory and honor and say thank you for allowing this to happen. So mote it be.
So mote it be. And we'll just close the show with a good old, you ready, Rob?
Here we go. Bangarang.
Bangarang. I love it.